Good morning guys and welcome to the Moltres Solo Run on the RetroBrown channel. This is the second to last Pokemon to solo run in this game, and my god, I'm looking very forward to getting this one out the way, because regardless of this being a legendary bird with a base stat total of 580, oh my god, this one is just bad. Like, I can't even describe how bad and how much I don't like this Pokemon in the solo run setting. In competitive, it had its time, especially in Gen 1 as well, where there was no really good fire types. But in a solo run setting, in a playthrough setting, Moltres is just god-awful. Like, it really is god-awful. Our rival for today is going to be Justin Mosley. Thank you for subscribing. Welcome to the channel. Hope you're happy that you are the rival against the legendary Pokemon here. So, Moltres starts off with two moves, Peck and Fire Spin. Peck, I don't mind. It's a flying type move, 35 base power, 100% accuracy. Fire Spin is god-awful. It really is just god-awful, and you can hate on me down in the comments below, but my god, this is a bad starting move set for a legendary Pokemon in this generation. Considering the likes of Zapdos gets Drill Peck to start off with, and they've got Thundershock or Thunderbolt, Articuno starts off with Ice Beam. Like, my god, why did they look at this and not go, oh, well, it's a legendary Pokemon, why don't we just start off with Flamethrower? No, this Pokemon actually can't learn Flamethrower whatsoever in this generation. Unless you traded it from a previous generation to have that move, it cannot get it in Gen 1 naturally, even with TMs. Like, they really, really shat on Moltres so hard. It is, yeah. And I'm saying that, we are sweeping through Viridian Forest extremely quickly, but Fire Spin is just such a bad move. 70% accuracy, 15 PP, 15 power as well. Yes, it's got the Gen 1 trapping strategies where you can't attack the same turn that you're also trapped, but this is just going to make the fight so long, and I am not going to stop hating on Moltres this entire run. So, buckle your seatbelts, because this is a Moltres hate train, this one. So it's got a decent special at 125, it's got a decent attack stat, everything else is on 90, and I just don't like it. The best fire move we get is Fire Blast. So the fire type legendary of this generation only gets two fire type moves, and one of them becomes completely useless after a while. Like, yes, as soon as we can get Fire Blast, we will be spamming that as much as we can. But this is pretty much, this is just a flying legendary, a mono flying legendary, until you get Fire Blast, and then it actually becomes a fire type. Like, yeah. Rant out the way, let's get on with this run. Let's start with Brock. Okay, so Brock, going in with fire type moves actually isn't the worst thing. I mean, going in with trapping moves as well also isn't the worst thing as well. It's why we will be spamming Fire Spin to get through this fight, but Articuno and Zapdos had finished their fights by now, and we're already still on the Geodude, which says a lot about why it's the worst one out of the three, in my opinion. Yes, we can get all the way to the Onix at level 10, and we can just keep spamming Fire Spin, but once we've ran out of PP for Fire Spin, then we have to just rely on Peck. Now, it's a good thing that he did use Bide there, because with this being a multi-turn move, it's only going to account for the first turn of Fire Spin, not all three that hit there. Annoyingly though, now we're stuck into Peck, and he is using Bide quite a lot. But we've got more than enough to work with here to do this at level 10. If it wasn't a legendary Pokemon, I'd say this is actually a good Pokemon, but with it having that legendary status and taking that long to beat Brock, yeah, it's just... I will try and tone down the amount of Moltres hate on this video, but I can't be the only person out there that really dislikes this Pokemon in Gen 1. In like later generations, when it's got a wider move pool, it's a really good threat. Like, I'm pretty sure in Gen 2 it had more of a viability than it did in Gen 1. But Zapdos is still, in my opinion, the best. Well, no, Articuno did better in its solo run, but in a competitive sense, I would say Zapdos is easily the better legendary bird out of the three. We get through Mount Moon with pretty minimal worries whatsoever. And we're at level 15 going into Cerulean, which actually is going to be a problem because the next gym leader coming up is, of course, Misty. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to Nugget Bridge first and take down the rival. If we can get some levels up here on on Nugget Bridge, sorry. I really should have got some more levels up in Mount Moon as well. It would have made Misty a hell of a lot easier. But we've got Nugget Bridge and there's a lot of optional fights we can go against here to get some levels. Oh god, we're down 16 HP going against the Squirtle. My god, a tiny little turtle took out the legendary bird. Essentially, to win this fight at level 15, you need much better luck with Fire Spin, which is not guaranteed because of its 70% accuracy. Like, why couldn't they at least give this move 30 power to make it more viable to use? Like, this is a little lowly rat, and it takes so many hits of a fire move to take it down. You need to get to that Squirtle with as much HP to work with, because at least one bubble is going to take off about 30 HP. But once we've beaten the rival, we can head all the way to Bill's house, grab some levels along the way. And that's another thing that I also need to chat about. We get barely any moves to work with. Probably the next good move that we can actually pick up is going to be Fly over in Celadon City. Like, we're waiting all the way to the 4th gym to actually get a move different to Peck and Fire Spin. So yeah, let's have some torture against Misty. So which moveset is best to go with here? Well, I started off this time around going with just Peck. Peck does decent damage out. It's doing about a quarter damage on, no, about a fifth damage on Starmie. But yeah, that's not going to work. So what did we have to do? Well, I actually resorted to the bide strategies. Yes, a legendary Pokemon has to rely on the bide strategies to get past Misty. And even then, it's an incredibly lucky chance that he do it. If she hadn't gone for an extra fend there, we'd have been sat around twiddling our thumbs for Moltres to actually bird up and do something in this run. That brings us to the SSM. We are going to go and pick up TM for rest, just so we've actually got a little bit more longevity in fights. I'm honestly, it was at this point in the run, I was honestly debating maybe Toxic Strats is actually something we can go for. Like, Toxic Rest Strats might actually be a viable strategy for this Pokemon, and that's not something I say very often with a legendary. Now we're on the SSN though, we picked up TM for rest, which will be very useful, and we can go against Justin Mosley again. This time he's got a better team to work with. We're at level 23 after Nugget Bridge, and to be fair, we're just Peck spamming our way through every single fight. It's the best move we've got, so why wouldn't we use it and over spam it? It's annoying that it's only 35 base power. I'd actually love for this Pokemon to have Drill Peck. I mean, look at the shape of its beak on the left there. It could have a Drill Peck if it wanted to. Like, I'm pretty sure Dodrio's got a beak like that, and it still can't learn Drill Peck. So why can't this Pokemon? It's got 100 base attack. It could make good use of it. The early game really isn't suited to a Moltres as well. Most likely why, well, it's a legendary Pokemon, which is why you get it in the late game. It's not meant for early game runs. We are spamming Fire Spin just to make sure we don't take any damage from the electric type attacks. And look at that, one Thunder Shock from a Pikachu does a fifth of our HP. Thunderbolt nearly one-shots us from that range. So, yeah, we take a loss here against Raichu. You're going to see this a lot. We're going to see a lot of losses in this run. And the end time that you will eventually see really justifies why I do not like this Pokemon in a solo run setting. So when we get to the Pikachu, thankfully this time we haven't taken all too much damage. But the Raichu, even at level 24, we don't outspeed. And I actually employed the bide strategies once again. Yes, at the 3rd gym we are still using bide on a Moltres to get through the fights at a decent-ish level. What else could I say that's new now that I just haven't been saying? Over in Celadon, it actually might be worth us getting Hyper Beam, because we do have a decent attack stat. It could be worth our time to even go and get that. Oh my god, we're going against the Exploding Hiker, and this time Fire Spin's just not working for us, although it is doing a lot more damage than I was expecting there. We take one Self-Destruct from the first, we take out the second with Fire Spin, and then we trap the final Graveler in Fire Spin. So yeah, Fire Spin, I guess, has its uses, but as soon as I can get rid of it, I will be getting rid of it. It's an awful move, I hate it. Absolutely hate Fire Spin. Do you know what used to make me always think that Fire Spin was a good move when I was younger? Do you remember the very first TCG Charizard that ever came out on the base decks, where it had Fire Spin as its move and it was 120 base power? I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And yeah, I remember I'd never seen Fire Spin in the game up until that point, because I'd usually finish the game by the time one of my Pokemon would actually learn it. But I remember seeing that card and then trying to use Fire Spin and going, this move sucks so badly. Why is Charizard got such amazing power on this card? I genuinely don't have anything good to say about Moltres. I really don't. I don't think I've hated on a Pokemon this much in such a long time. I am really tired, and I am so glad that we are nearly at the end of the Kanto Solo Run series. There's not many runs left to go. We've got Marowak next, which will be the next choice because it's the last Pokemon on that wheel. And yeah, from there, we might actually be able to do some good runs on this channel. Anyway, we're at Erica's gym, and we've went and picked up the Fly HM. It's not very often that I pick up the HM move for my Solo Run Pokemon, but this Pokemon needs it. This is hands down the best move we've got to work with. And with the stab flying type, it's definitely going to actually help us out. We get a first time win, the first one we've got for quite a while now. And then we head into the Rocket Game Calling to take on Giovanni. Now Giovanni is not going to be all too much of a problem. We're going to go and pick up the Double Edge TM. And yes, we are going to teach this straight away. We are going to get rid of Bide for this one. We're going to keep Fire Spin just for one more fight, because there are other moves that I can go and pick up. So yeah, reason why I've kept Fire Spin is purely just for the rock types in this gym. We get hit by a rock throw, that's 4 times effective on us. We might as well lose half our HP just from one shot. Rhyhorn comes out next, and again the Fire Spin spam actually works when you do outspeed Pokemon. So it's worth doing it for these two Pokemon where we don't have any good special type moves to actually take them down. Double Edge is dealing out decent damage on the Kangaskhan, Fly's doing around about the same because of stab damage, and we take down Giovanni pretty comfortably. Now we're getting into the mid-game. Moltres is actually starting to feel like it's actually useful. So, once we've completed Celadon City, we are going to go and open up Saffron City. Because if we can actually do this at a decent level and time, it's going to be quicker for us to go through Saffron City first after we clear out Lavender Tower from rockets. And purely, at this point in the game, it's fly spamming the entire time. Because this is a 2-turn move, battles are going on longer. And this means that your end time is going to increase. If you can take them out in 1 turn, much more efficient than taking them out with a 2-turn move. Which is generally why I don't like using 2-turn moves as well, because one, it also... I mean, if it's like a Solar Beam, it gives them a chance to actually get an attack in while you're just sat there charging. But Fly and Dig are different because you can actually evade attacks while keeping out of the way for the 2 turns. And I feel like they're better uses of the 2-turn moves than one charging up 1 turn, then getting hit and taken out while you were charging up. Yeah, there's a lot that I don't like about a lot of things in Pokemon. I'm really on a rant today. My god. Okay, in Silphco, we haven't got the greatest moveset to work with, but I'm actually going to go and try the rival first before we even go to Fuchsia City and try and get some decent moves. So, we missed the Fire Spin twice, 3 times before it actually hits. And I've lost a third of my HP. I haven't taught myself Rest yet, but as soon as you've hit with Fire Spin, it does alright there. It takes out the Pidgeot, but we lost half our HP. So I'm probably already debating at this point, Rest is going to be something we definitely need. I use Fly on the Execute, which is annoying that it sets up a Reflect, and we miss and get seeded. Not great when you're on low HP. Probably should have been better just going for Peck, or Double Edge. We get taken down by the Alakazam, and yeah. We're going to go down to Fuchsia. Screw the rival right now. I need some easier levels. So Koga is going to be a bit of a mixed bag for us. His Pokemon are quite defensively bulky, so Double Edge is going to be a decent move to take him down. Fly will be good to keep out the way of their attacks, especially when they start using X attacks, and then Sludge. My god, status effects again. Leech Seed in the last fight, Poison in this one. Everything in this region hates Moltres. We didn't even make it halfway through his team. and we're at level 40. So this time we decided to go for the fire spin strats. Yes, I hate this move, but it's a cheesy move and I was getting really bored of this run as I was going through. It's not a fun Pokemon to solo run with, it really isn't. And if you remember back to December last year where I did my Legendary Birds only run where it was minimum battles, you couldn't teach TMs, HMs. Moltres finished the game still in the level 20s because it just lost its usability less than halfway through the game. It only had one fight late on in the game where it actually did something, and I think that was against Giovanni because it could still outspeed his rock types. But Moltres was just awful in that run. Everything really came down to Zapdos and Articuno, and more so Articuno. Articuno's just better built for Kanto Gen 1. Zapdos is very consistently built for Gen 1, but Moltres just in itself is not built for this region. And it probably would be if they'd actually given it decent moves to work with. Like, I don't understand why we couldn't have even got Ember to start off with, of all things. I genuinely think if we'd started off with Ember as a move, we'd have shaved about half an hour of time off this entire run. And you'll see how much time this took us right towards the end. Like, there are base stage evolution Pokemon that are better than Moltres at solo running in Gen 1. It's that bad. It really is that bad. Anyway, let's give the rival another try. We've lost so many times to this guy. Justin Mosley's given me a really hard time, but this is a very hard Pokemon to solo run. And that brings in the Growlithe. We're going to go for Fly, which nearly is a one-shot, but we do get a Leer there. We've got 2 Leered before we get taken down. Well, we take it down. We one-shot the Execute because this time didn't get Reflect up, and we're at Blastoise with full HP. And yeah, I'm going for the Fire Spin Cheese. I hate it. I absolutely hate it, but this made sure we can actually chip away at it till it was at a range where one of our other moves could deal some decent damage out, because any water-type move coming our way is just tearing us apart. Like, he's only got 2 or 3 attacks in, and he's already got us down under half HP. So yeah, after a lot of cheese, we do beat the rival, and we get our Lapras. Once we head over to Giovanni, of course, we've got another difficult fight to contend with. Nidorino is not really too much of a problem. Fly will take it out, and then Peck will finish it off. Next is Kangaskhan. We're going to go for Fly to deal half damage, and then take it down from there. Rhyhorn's next, and we go for Fire Spin. Genuinely, the rock types are the only reason why Fire Spin is on my moveset. But after Saffron City, we will be going over to Cinnabar, and I will be getting Fire Blast to replace it, because I am sick of seeing Fire Spin on my moveset. Nidoqueen is not too much of a problem for us. 2 flies will take it down, and we have beaten Silphcore. That means we can then dig out and go straight over to Sabrina's gym and hopefully get the 6th badge. I mean, we've got decent special, so we can tank special type hits, but this still might be difficult. Of course, Sabrina's going to start off with a Kadabra who can deal out massive damage, but we outspeed, so we just one-shot it with Double Edge. In fact, this became a Double Edge sweep. I mean, the Venomoth for some reason managed to tank it, but Peck did decent damage anyway. I probably should have just used Fly there. We go for Double Edge on Alakazam, and then he goes for a Reflect, which is annoying. We hit ourselves in Confusion, and we use Fly to try and mitigate it, but no, Confusion damage just completely bites us in the arse again. So, let's do this properly. Double Edge on the first 2 Pokemon to get easy wins. He goes for a Light Screen, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It would have been worse if it was Reflect. Venomoth this time we go for Fly because it's super effective. We were being a bug type. And then the Alakazam comes out, we use Fly. He misses his moves because of Fly, and we managed to get 2 in to get the win. But I'm very surprised at level 43, 100 base attack, we weren't even one-shotting that Alakazam. It's got terrible defenses. Anyway, let's go to Cinnabar Island and let's enter Blaine's gym. Blaine is going to be a decently mediocre fight for us here. To be fair, we're just going to Fly spam all this, which is what we've been doing for the majority of this run since we got Fly. The run honestly sped up a lot as soon as we got HMO2 Fly. But, yeah. Double Edge is a decent move to have as well if you do have recovery moves, or you've got literally nothing else to work with. Like, if we can learn Body Slam, I'd be using that instead. We get quite an easy win. We can pick up Fire Blast, and my god, this has been well needed. Also as well in Celadon I picked up 2 PP ups, and finally we've actually got a move that is worth using on Moltres. So let's go over to the last gym, let's go get that final badge and progress on to the league. And Giovanni's not going to be too much of a problem still, it's Giovanni. So, his rock-type Pokemon, even though they are bulky, they can't really stand up to special attacks. So that's why we use Fire Blast on them. Nidoqueen, again, we're just going to go for the flies. We kind of need to conserve Fire Blast PP because we only have 7 to work with thanks to those PP ups. But we just want to make sure we can just take out his Pokemon without worrying too much, because I need those Fire Blasts for the final Pokemon. We're taking a hell of a lot of damage because we got paralysed by the Nidoqueen. That brings into Rhydon, and we're actually in range to lose here. Yeah, it doesn't happen very often against this Giovanni fight, but that Rhydon actually did something. It actually managed to use Stomp twice in a row, which I don't think I've seen on my channel in the nearly 150 solo runs that I've done on this channel. I've never seen him use Stomp twice in a row. Like, we got really bad luck on that first attempt. Second attempt though, we get much better luck. We're not paralysed because of Body Slam, and then Fire Blast can take 2 hits to take down the Rhydon. Oh, the gym challenge is done, and that just leaves the league. But hey, again, we've got the rival fight to contend with. So yay! More pain as a Moltres. We take down the Pidgeot, not too much problem whatsoever. I'm quite surprised that I still haven't put rest on my moveset to elongate these fights out and actually get us a chance to deal out good damage, get rid of status effects. Probably would have made this run a lot easier if I had used rest earlier on. But which move would I have had to take out? And most likely it probably would have been Fire Blast. We take down the Alakazam. Oh, after taking big Psychics, it goes for Recover, which is annoying. Oh my god, critical hit Psybeam. This Alakazam's having my life today. Well, I relented. We went for the Mimic strats. I am done with this Pokemon. We are trying to get through this as quick as possible. We learned Horn Drill via Mimic on the Rhyhorn, and that is going to help us for the final Pokemon in this fight. We're going to take down the Alakazam as quick as we can with Fire Blast and Double Edge, just because we need to take it down. We burn it as well, which is perfect, and that brings in the Blastoise, and we get a first turn Horn Drill win. Oh my god, am I going to have to rely on Horn Drill again in the final fight? I guess we'll soon find out, won't we? But what's going to be even worse is now to contend with the league. And of course, you guys know this by now. I mean, if you didn't after 25 years, where have you been? Lorelei is the very first Elite Four member, and she is a Water-Ice type trainer. So yeah, this is going to be fun. First out is Dugong, which is pretty much quite defensively bulky. Aurora Beam does tons of damage. That is crazy. But at least you got to think about in this generation, Ice and Fire don't resist. So they're only looking at that flying type, and we're weak to Ice. So yeah, Aurora Beam will do massive damage because we are weak to Ice in this generation because of the flying typing we have. Slowbro decides to set up a lot of its stat moves, and we are dealing very pitiful damage against it. It's using Withdraw, it's using with Amnesia. We're hoping for crits here because there is nothing else that we can really hope for to get through this fight against Slowbro. Fire Blast is dealing decent damage out, and we actually get a burn, which is good. It means it's going to do some passive damage for us, and well, it doesn't have any physical type moves, so it's just going to chip away at it, which is good. We're going to rest back up to full going into the Jinx. Oh god, the super potions are just annoying. Okay, one more fly, that should help us out here. Nope, it isn't. We're pretty much back to where we started. Oh god. If we don't outspeed this Jinx and it goes for Ice Punch, oh, that does so much damage. I really should have went for... Oh my god. A freeze as well. Our luck in this fight just went so badly. Yep. You're looking at that right, by the way. As a legendary Pokemon, for the very first Elite Four fight, we went up to level 60. No other legendary Pokemon in this generation had to be level 60 to even beat Lorelei. But this is just testament to how bad Moltres is in this generation. And because we went up to level 60, we learnt the move Sky Attack. Yep. For the first time in my entire channel, we are using Sky Attack as a move. I hate 2-turn moves, but you cannot deny that 140 power. We actually get a burn on the Lapras, which is perfect, and we go for a fly to get the win, but level 60 as a legendary to beat the first Chim. Like, the video's nearly over soon. The Moltres hit we'll see soon. Thankfully, Bruno is still not a problem. We are going to learn Ice Punch just to give ourselves another move to work with, and then we'll use Fly to take down the majority of his Pokemon. Or we can just use Fire Blast. My god, Moltres, hit your moves. Hit your moves. Thankfully, Ice Punch is 100% accurate. We use Fly on the Machamp, and it doesn't even take it out at this range. You've got 100 base attack. How are you not taking out a Machamp? I hate this Pokemon with a vengeance. I really do. This might be my least favourite Pokemon in the entire generation. It genuinely might be. Really, really might be my worst liked Pokemon at all. Like, completely. We do get decent luck in the Agatha fight. Because the Pokemon are quite defensively weak, Fly is a decent move to be using here. We don't want to be using Sky Attack just because there's not really too much reason to use it in this fight. It gives them a chance to set up status effects on you. And we lost to the Haunter, even though we're still 5 levels above it. I decided to go for Sky Attack just to see if it makes a difference, and it does against the first Ghost Pokemon. We use Fly twice on the Golbat, and that brings in Haunter. We go for a Fire Blast. It nearly one-shots there, which is kind of annoying. And we fly our way into the Arbok, which uses for God's sake, all the status effects in the world. It's still holding out though. Nightshade, we can tank at least one more, but we are confused, and that is never a great thing in this fight. But a clutch crit gets us the win, and we're level 62 going into Lance. And Lance is going to be no easier. Come on, Gyarados, hit us in the face with a Hydro Pump, because I know that's what you're going to do. Go on. Yep, there we go. Half hour damage. We're going to have to level up more here, aren't we? Yep. Either that or we have to wait for a Sky Attack miss, and wow, we actually managed to get through that Gyarados because it missed all its Hydro Pumps. Actually kind of stunned at that one. Hyper Beam thankfully is not doing all too much damage. Fire Blast does pretty good damage on the Aerodactyl, and it burns it, which is good because it's a very good strong physical attacker. That just leaves the Dragonite, and we actually get a burn first time, which was very clutch because if Hyper Beam was incoming. We go for Sky Attack for the win because of the recharge turn. And yeah, it didn't actually take too many tries, but still, Moltres was just bad there. And that brings the penultimate fight against Justin Mosley. We're going to go for the Fire Blast on the Pidgeot to start off with and take it down, leading us into the Alakazam. We're at full HP here, so we're going to go for a Fire Blast again. It does it does decent damage. And then we are going to get Horn Drill from the Rhydon. Yes, we are going to cheese this and go for the Horn Drill strats. If you don't like that, let me know down in the comments, but this is just not a fun Pokemon to solo run, so I don't care. We're at the final fight, and this Pokemon should be better than it is. It really should be better than it is. Anyway, we get into the Executor, one Fire Blast takes it down, and we're onto the Blastoise, and we get a first turn Horn Drill again to get the win. I am very sorry that this has been a rant video, but I just really genuinely I don't like this Pokemon whatsoever. We finished level 63, 4 hours 19 minutes. That is hands down the worst legendary run I've done in this generation. Everything else has been in the top tiers. This is the only one, and this isn't even A tier quality, this is B tier quality. Rant over. I wonder what we're going to do a run with next. Is it going to be Marowak, or Marowak? Oh hey, it's Marowak, the very last run that we are going to do. I'm very excited to be done with this series. So let's do Marowak next week, and we'll round it all out. If you got to this point in the video, please smash that like and subscribe, you legends. And we will see you next time for the Marowak run, and we'll finish off this channel. Take care.